said that hopelessly sick people and to ease the pain of them is the definition, and they did not acquire the consent of the patients, and which would lead to the restricting guidelines that doesn't prevent involuntary or non-voluntary euthanasia. And the examples are as we just told. And with all the safeguards, people might be euthanized, but only a few people might be euthanized, and that would not solve the problem, as they said that a lot of people need euthanasia. Also, they also said that only 15% of terminally ill patients receive palliative care. And as my partner said before, that do they really need palliative care? And not all terminally ill patients need palliative care. And the raise of taxes, my partner also asked that raising taxes is not that easy. Another thing is that doctors now are in the status quo are already being educated, and it is not an advantage of the affirmative plan. Also, they didn't prove that the doctors don't make mistakes, and that means that doctors make mistakes, and they didn't prove that what we mentioned was wrong. Also, the affirmative also said that they only grant euthanasia to terminally ill patients, so their plan would work. However, Netherlands also only granted the terminally ill patients euthanasia, but this still led to the loosening of the criteria and the people to apply for euthanasia and the people who are euthanized. Also, the affirmative said that they are only providing a choice, but our main concern is that it's not about the choice, it's about whether legalizing euthanasia would lead to more problems. And we proved that the problems will happen, such as loosened criteria in the Netherlands. And so if the choice would lead to even more serious consequences, then the choice should not be available. And also, their plan about euthanasia is not detailed enough. They did not acquire the consent of patients, and they did not say the voluntary part. And we also mentioned that there are increasing patients accepting palliative care, and that is a fact which indicates there's no need for legalizing euthanasia. And for these reasons, vote for the negative today.
Affirmative rebuttal speech, 3 minutes.
Okay, good morning, honorable judge, fellow debaters, and esteemed guests. I'm the last speaker for this whole debate, and I will first begin my speech by refuting what the negative side has said. So first, they talked about when we questioned them how palliative care is actually improving in the current status quo. They did not give us any numbers or any statistics showing that it is actually currently improving in the status quo. They only gave 2 individual examples, which is Hopkins and Stingmington, and we believe that that is not reliable. And also that they question us how our plan is going to give too much power to the doctors. However, as we stated in our plan, it is going to have a mutual agreement among patients, families, and doctors, so this wouldn't be giving too much power to the doctors. And also that they are confused with how counseling in our plan is related to euthanasia. But as my first and second speaker has stated, we have proved that in the current status quo, doctors, they did not receive adequate training, and which is why patients are experiencing pain. However, by educating, it will improve the current pain management, and we believe that the last choice will be euthanasia. And so now, what has the negative side done? They failed to prove that the current status quo is better, and they did not attack any advantages that the affirmative side has brought. And us, on the other side, we have observed 3 harms in the status quo, and we have proven that with evidence. And also, we propose a plan that is going to include education, which improves pain management, it counselors, which improves depression, and also a mutual agreement, so there wouldn't be problems such as not volunteering, as the negative side has talked about. And so also from our plan, we have also given additional 4 advantages, and these, which is for advantages which is going to benefit the society. And also with our plan, we have proven with working model funding and detailed procedures. So this proves how our plan is going to be reliable and feasible. And last, I would like the judge to imagine two worlds. In their world, there will be constant pain. People are physically and psychologically in pain, negative effects on families, and people being depressed and unhappy citizens. On the other hand, the affirmative side, we have proposed a plan that's going to relieve pain. And this society will have less depression, healthier and happier citizens, and more jobs and a better society. So dear judge, which world would you want to live in? Thank you.
That's the end of today's debate. In 5 minutes, we'll have the judges to give us comments about both teams' performances. So now, please wait outside. Thank you.